see this back here. I've got the valve train off on the driver's side now. The air conditioning compressor I've got hanging from a string from the hood, and then I've got the hood braced with the extension over there. The harmonic balancer, that was a huge deal to get off. It was a 3-jaw pulley, a 3-inch 3-jaw pulley that I used to get it off. But I ended up breaking a tool from AutoZone, one of their Lona tools or whatever, trying to get it off. It didn't exactly work too well. I don't know if it was binding up or if it wasn't the right tool or whatever, but that was kind of a pain. But then I took this fan off here. That was kind of a pain in the butt too, but I just took a couple bolts and stuck them in these holes, and then used a crowbar to hold this pulley while I just unscrewed this. And this is regular normal threads. Apparently on the O2 diesels they're left-handed threads, but these are regular normal right-handed threads, so turn them counterclockwise. But that's basically where I'm at right now. I'll get back to you when I get the front plate off here. This is a 5.7 liter Hemi, and we have a timing issue. There are these blue chain links. There are these blue chain links here, and there's a single one, and then there's a double one.
Where is the double blue chain?
There's a single one, and then there's a double one right here. So there's two blue links here.
There are like two right in the same place?
Yeah, 2 links in the same place. Okay. Now on the manual suggests that you lower the oil pan and remove the oil. You have to remove the oil pump here, but since I'm not changing the sprockets, I'm only changing the cam, I'm not going to remove this, and I'm going to kind of turn the crank until I see the timing mark. And once I see the timing mark, I'm going to try to line up this double length chain onto that mark, and then turn the crank without skipping any links. So I'm just hoping and praying that it's going to stay timed. And then once I have that and the tension on the chain, I'm going to grab the sprocket and point this This is the cam sprocket, and then there's your timing marks right here.
Yeah, I see it.
There's your timing marks right here.
Yeah.
And that's going to point to the blue, the other blue timing link, the single link on this one. So hopefully I'll have it timed right. When I put the truck together last time, I did not have it timed right. I think I had it forward a link, and apparently that's like almost like 10 degrees of timing, which is probably why it ran the way it did. So I'm hoping that this will correct my issue. This is a crane cam, and the duration is basically in between the comp cams 260 and the comp cams 268. It's like right in between those two. So hopefully I'll be able to put this back together and make it work properly.
Poor dog.
I think this is the easy part. I don't remember right. And now it's resting on that one. So I'm gonna squeeze some more of that stuff in there. Why not, go all out on the lube, So it's falling in there. Try to be real easy with it. Don't want to nick anything or score anything. The valve cover's back on. I've got the rocker arms back on. All that stuff's buttoned up. I got the wires run. It looks like the way they had these wires designated to be run is kind of goofy, so I kind of modified that a little bit. So hopefully that cleaned it up. But basically, you know, one cylinder's firing and the opposite coil pack fires the other cylinder on the exhaust stroke. So if you're one and two cylinders are linked together, which they're not, but you know, just say for example, if your 1 and 2 cylinders are linked together, the one cylinder is going to fire the 2 cylinder, and the 2 cylinder is going to fire the 1 cylinder. So it kind of simplifies it a little bit there. So the opposing coil pack fires the opposite one. But anyhow, so we've got actually I put the aftermarket cam back in. I spoke with a guy at my work, and he was very knowledgeable on the subject, and he explained to me that most likely my mileage problems and my my issues with gas mileage and my drivability issues were caused by the timing being off. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a timing mark right here. See this one link here, and the dot on there, well, that was over one notch forward. So I'm assuming that the crank, I'm not sure exactly where the crank marks were, but I'm assuming that those were wrong as well. So I think my timing was off, and that was my fault because the instructions that I followed weren't. I didn't do my homework like I should have the first time, so I'm paying for it now. But hopefully I got it fixed. Hopefully this runs right when I start it back up. But I was able to mark down here, if you can see the cam gear, and I just took a blue Sharpie and marked the timing mark. When I rotated it around, you can kind of see in there and locate the timing mark. I just took a blue Sharpie and marked over it, and then laid the chain on that mark in the proper position, and then rotated. I don't even think I rotated the crank. I think I just installed the cam gear into the chain, and then rotated the cam to line up with the cam gear. In there, I installed the bolts, torque that down. You're supposed to put some anti-seize on that bolt. I didn't, but I hope I think it'll be alright. It's just a little anti-seize. Maybe I should do it anyway on second thought, but anyhow. But that's where I'm at on the cam reinstall project. I installed some Iridium plugs by NGK. I was really happy with the NGK plugs that I got from for my minivan, and I decided to go ahead and go with NGK for my truck plugs. I had the Champion coppers in there before. They weren't running bad, but actually it's hard to say because the engine wasn't doing all that great. So maybe it was something to do with the plugs, maybe not. But anyhow, the NGK plugs are supposedly pretty good plugs, and I decided to go with those. your PCV valve, which took me forever. The manual doesn't actually tell you how to get to this PCV valve, but it's like right here on top of the intake. So I took that out and kind of sprayed it out with some Seafoam, deep creep cleaner, and kind of worked it, worked that in there. And then I hosed the little port out with Seafoam, deep creep cleaner. So hopefully I'll get back to you on the progress later on when we're ready to start it up. And okay, and here we are. This is basically the end of a week-long project here, so I'm kind of anticipating what's going to happen here. I got everything buttoned back up. I've got all the accessories bolted back on. Valve covers are back on, and I ran the wires. I don't know if you could see back here or not. Back here I've got the wires run. I had to buy some extra clips and stuff to kind of separate those wires. I've installed a Flexolite fan. I think it's 230 model. I can't remember for sure, but I just mounted all the wiring and stuff here. I've got it wired into this fuse relay box. They're over here, and they run down along the inner fender there, and then I've run them with another harness that goes to this fan, and then they kind of come out over here, and I've got them tied into this little bolt that's down there. And hopefully I got everything right. Your temperature probe here sticks out. It's covered up with this little cap, but that's the thermostat for the Flexolite fan. So that Flexolite fan will come on at like a certain temperature. I'm not sure exactly what the temperature is. And I got my cold air intake all cleaned and oiled up. Everything's as it should be as far as I know. I'm kind of nervous, anticipating what's going to happen. I mentioned in another video before that this camshaft that I put in prior is it's an aftermarket cam made by Crane Cams, and it's basically between the comp cams 260 and the 267, I believe it is. It's the lift and duration is like right. It's really close to those two cams. It's like right in the middle of those two. So hopefully my custom tune will still work for it. I know I had the timing a little bit off when I did the cam 2 years ago, so it's been running kind of bad, and I just thought it was because of the cam. But hopefully it turns over and works well for me. burning off the exhaust here. I guess the power steering pump's what's making that noise. Yeah, that's what it is. I drained the power steering. It's just whining, isn't it? See that in there? Needs some fluid. Grab some transmission fluid. Thank God, it sounds good. Let's see, we got some transmission fluid up there. Swore I had some. Oh, here it is. Sorry for taking you on this ride, but yeah, add some power steering fluid. Alright, here we're back. That noise kind of quieted down. That was from the power steering pump, and I added some more fluid to it. I had disconnected those lines, so I guess it just had to work out all its air bubbles and stuff. So I had some smoke coming from back here, which apparently was just some oil that had oil residue that was on the exhaust headers, and I'm flushing the radiator out right now. It's like the heater hoses and the radiator hoses are working. And this is my wife, Jennifer. So she's making fun of me because I'm making videos. So hopefully it starts working good for me.